Hi everybody, I'm here to teach you today about how to use QR codes in your classroom. If you would like to see what a QR code can link you to, you can take your phone or any tablet that you have and scan the QR code on the screen right now. So what is a QR code? It's basically a code that you can scan, and it works the same way as a barcode where it'll bring you to a link, a picture, or text or a document. So each QR code is going to link you to something different. Why do we use QR codes? Well, as a teacher, I use it to help students get to something quickly because it takes them forever to type in a long address, and if they spell something wrong, it takes them to the wrong place. So using QR codes can just eliminate the time that it takes them for typing in those websites, and they can just scan the code. I also use them a lot with task cards. So it allows students to check their work. I'll put a problem on the front. So we were just working on graphing. So there'll be a graph problem on the front. And then on the back is a QR code that they can scan, and it'll bring them to a page that gives them the answer to that question. So they're checking their work and they're knowing, okay, I got that one wrong. I need to make sure that I understand this content before I move on. I've seen it also to help students join certain pages. So Nearpod, Remind, Vocabulary, Class Dojo, they all have QR codes that you can put onto papers or letters to send home where they can just scan them and it automatically joins them to that class or to that lesson. So how do you make a QR code? Well, first you have to decide what you want the students to see, whether it's a link, an image, a video, or just text like I use on my task cards. If it is a link, an image, or a video, you need to copy the link to that. Then you're going to go to a QR code generator. I linked the one here that I like, and you're going to paste that link in the generator box. Or if you want just text, like I use for task cards, you just type it in. So let me show you what that would look like. So this is the QR code generator that I like to use. Again, you can put a URL in, just text. You can send them to certain images. So I usually just do text. So if there was a graphing problem and it asked how many students like the flavor vanilla, the answer might be 16 students. So I've typed that in. It's generated my code for me, my QR code. I can download that as an image, and it will save it to my computer, and I can paste it wherever I want, whether that's on a worksheet or a task card. I've been talking a lot about task cards, so let me show you what I mean by task cards. Here's the graphing one I was talking about. What is the label on the x-axis? And then I have a card for a graph for them there. And then on the back, they would scan this QR code. These are 2 task cards. I have them cut out and laminated, but they would scan this, and then it would bring them to the answer screen, which for them looks like this. So this is all they see. They see 16 people. Great, they can check their answer. I'll usually have an answer sheet along with it like this. So they've put their answer in the box. They've checked it with a QR code, and then they give a check in a little box or an X if they were wrong. So this is how I'm keeping track of, okay, who's getting what problems wrong, but they're still keeping track themselves. So you can paste the link into that generator or the free text like I just showed you. You download or screenshot that QR code. If you're not sure how to screenshot on the device that you're using, a quick Google will do it. Google how to screenshot on a PC, how to screenshot on a Chromebook. And then paste that QR code onto worksheets, task cards, letters going home, wherever it is that you want them to see the QR code. So I have my students using QR codes in the classroom, so they need a device to be able to scan the QR code. I have 3 iPads, which is not enough for 25 kids. So they can also download a QR code extension on their Chromebooks, which I think is the best bet in our district since we do use a lot of Chromebooks. You go to the extension or I have it up in my top here. This is the one that I use. they hit scan a QR code. It does open the webcam. They do get a little silly the first time they see themselves on a webcam, but we talk about what's appropriate, what's not, and they just scan their card and move on. And then there's a button for them to scan a card again and then move on. So I think QR codes are very useful, especially with our ELs when we're trying to build that autonomy. We're trying to get them to self-check their work. We're trying to eliminate time on getting them to a website where they might not know the words that are in the URL yet. So we can just give them a QR code. It'll send them right there. And it's a really nice way to make sure everybody's on the same page and people are where they need to be. So if you have any questions about QR codes, again, this QR code that I have on the screen right now takes you to a website that talks more about it and how to use them in a classroom. But otherwise, please feel free to email me at eclerc@portchesterschools.org. Thank you.